Hi everyone, it's Darla from Crafty Yarn Owl. Today we're going to be making this cute mesh shrug. I love it. I love it. Okay, you could even pin it if you would like it closed in the front a little bit. You could pin it. I love it. All right. So what you're going to do is you're going to make a chain. Now your chain, this is the way I made my chain. Made a chain and I held it like this. And that was the size I needed. Just hold it like this. That made my sleeves about this long, and then I added the trim onto it. And what we do is we make a rectangle. And then I show you in the video how to fold it. And then you just sew a little bit to close in the sleeves. And then we crochet around the big opening, which makes it close in the front more, and it also makes a longer length. All right, so do you want to do it? Do you want to make it? It's so easy, you guys. Anybody can do this. Anybody. All right, I'm excited. Let's do it. For my shrug, I used Yarn Bee Sugar Wheel Cotton. The colorway is Honey. It's homemade. It's a light 3-weight yarn, 100% cotton. There are 5 ounces, 142 grams, 335 yards, or 306 meters in one cake. So I used a complete one cake, and then I used part of the next cake. I just weighed this. I only used 30 grams from a second cake. Now you can use whatever yarn you like, whatever fiber you like, thin yarn. You could probably use a 4-weight maybe a thin 4. Just experiment and see what you come up with. And then I use a 6mm, and later on in the video I switched to a 7mm. And you'll also need a darning needle, pair of scissors, and some stitch markers. We're going to make a chain in multiples of 3. I'm using my 6mm hook here. I'll be right back to tell you how many chains I made. I chained 99. My chain measures 34 inches, which is 86 centimeters. Now we're going to skip the first 5 chains. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We're going to go into the 6th one with a single crochet. We're going to chain 3. 1, 2, 3. We're going to skip 2. 1, 2. Go in the next one with a single crochet. And then we're going to repeat this all the way across the row. So chain 3. 1, 2, 3. Skip 2. 1, 2. Go in the 3rd one with a single crochet. Okay, again, chain 3, 1, 2, 3, skip 2 chains, go in the next one with a single crochet. Now at the end of your first row, you're going to have 3 stitches left. So make your chain 3, skip 2, go in the last one with a single crochet. Now the next 2 rows, which are row 2 and 3, those will be your repeat rows. Okay, we're going to chain 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Turn your work around, and then in that first chain space, we're going to make a double crochet. Okay, now we're going to chain 3. 1, 2, 3. In the next chain space, we'll make a double crochet. And this is what we're going to be repeating across the row. So we'll chain 3, go in our next chain space, and make a double crochet. Okay, I'll show you again. Chain 3, go in your next chain space with a double crochet. Keep repeating, and I'll meet you at the end of this row. I'm at the end of row 2, and I have one more space left here. So we're going to do the chain 3, and then we're going to put a double crochet right into that very last space. And that completes row 2. Now onto row 3, we're going to chain 5. Last time we chained 6, this row will chain 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Turn your work. Then you're going to go into your first chain space with a single crochet. Okay, then we're going to chain 3. 1, 2, 3. Go into our next chain space with a single crochet. We'll repeat this all across the row. Chain 3. Go in your next chain space with a single crochet. Okay, repeat that to the end of this row, and I'll meet you there. This is how it's looking. Now we're at the end of row 3. Okay, row 2 and 3 are our repeats. So I've chained my last 3 there, and then I'm going to put a single crochet in the next chain space. And then I'm going to chain 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and turn my work. So I'm going to be repeating rows 2 and 3 with you. Now we're going to put a double crochet in that first chain space. Then we're going to chain 3 and put a double crochet into our next chain space. Chain 3, double crochet in our next chain space, and just keep repeating that all the way to the end of the row. I'll show you again. Chain 3, go in your next chain space with a double crochet. So when you're starting a row that has double crochets, that's when you'll be chaining 6 at the beginning. If you're starting a row that has single crochets in it, you start with a chain 5. All right, so continue to the end of this row, and I'll see you there. I'm now at the end of row 4, and I've chained 3, and then I'm going to put a double crochet right into that chain space at the end of the row. I'm going to go into the next row, which is the repeat of row 3. So we just repeated row 2, then we'll repeat row 3, 2, 3. I've made the height of this piece to reach from the back of my neck to about my waist. Because we've done a double crochet chain row, we're going to do a single crochet chain row. So that means we need to chain 5 here for the single crochet row. For the double crochet row, we chain 6. All right, so chain 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and turn your work. And then we'll put a single crochet in the first chain space. Chain 3, single crochet in the next chain space. Chain 3, single crochet in the next chain space. And continue on doing this. Chain 3, single crochet in the next chain space. Continue repeating rows 2 and 3. All right, this is the right side of my work because my tail is at the bottom left. And I've made a total of 35 rows, which measures 18 inches, which is about 46 centimeters. I'm 5'5½", and I wear about a large. We are going to make a border that goes around, which is going to make the length longer, and also it will help close in the front. Okay, so now we're going to take this piece and we're going to fold it over lengthwise so that the wrong side of your work is on the inside. All right, so this is how your piece should be folded. Now I'm going to take these spaces that we made and put stitch marker in to hold them. Right on the very end, what we're working on now is we're going to make a sleeve. I'm going to go along here with stitch markers and just kind of guess and then put it on to measure it to our body. All right, I pinned it up under the arm. I'm going to try it on in a minute and see if I need to put more pins or take some out. All right, I'm going to try it on. Here it is. Just picked it up like this. I'm just going to pull it over my head all the way down, and now I can tell that this is too tight under my arms. So I'm going to take out a few of these stitch markers. And it is good. So the part under my arm measures, the part that I'm going to sew measures around 4 inches, 10 centimeters. Now yours will probably be different. So let's just sew this. I'm going to do like mattress stitch. I believe it's called a mattress stitch. With the mattress stitch, it doesn't matter whether you sew it on the outside of your work or the inside of your work. The right or wrong side, it doesn't matter. It looks the same both ways. All right, I've grabbed about 4 times the length of the part that I want to sew. I'm going to start sewing from the end where our arm comes out. Okay, I'm going to start by going from the back through that first chain. Then I'm going to go from the inside to the outside. And I'm going to tie a knot. All right, now we have these chains here. I'm going to go, I'm going to go from the inside under a couple of the loops. And then I'm going to go out from the inside over here under, let's see if I can get under a couple of loops. If you can't, that's okay, no biggie. Okay, go from the inside out under a couple of loops. Go across. Go under a couple of loops. And just continue doing this all the way. But first, let's just take a minute here. We're going to tighten it up. I mean, this doesn't have to be perfect. It's going to be under your arm. Okay. So I'm just pulling to the side here just to tighten up yarn, I will meet you at the end of this little sleeve seam. All right, I stopped sewing just at the beginning of that space. I'm not going right into that space at all, or to the end of that space where my last stitch marker is. And then I'm just going to make a knot. And then I'll pull it through the other side and weave in that end. Cut that off and then do the other sleeve the same way, and then we'll go on to the next step. Okay, now I have the underarm sewn right there. I like it. I like it. We'll go on to the next step. We'll be doing the border. Now we're going to be working at the bottom of our shrug around this huge opening. Okay, this is the part where your arm comes out up here. And so now we're going to start with working in the seam. Okay, I've gone up from my 6mm to a 7mm. All right, so we'll just put a slip knot on our hook. And then we're going to go right into that seam with a slip stitch. Okay, then we're going to chain 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. What's the matter, baby? Are you okay? Good girl. The chain 6 counts as a double crochet chain 3. So now we have this chain 3. We're going to put a double crochet in there. I'm just going to mark this stitch. Okay, now chain 3. Go to your next chain space and put a double crochet in there. And repeat. Chain 3, go in our next chain space and put a double crochet. Okay, I will see you at the next seam. We're coming up to our second seam now. I put a double crochet in our last chain space. So before I go into that seam, I'm going to chain 3. I'm going to put a double crochet into that seam. Then I'm going to chain 3. Then I'm going to go around or into the next chain space with a double crochet. Chain 3, go in the next space with a double crochet and keep repeating, and I'll see you at the end of this round. I'm at the end of the first row of working in the round. I've put a double crochet into my last chain space before the beginning of the row. Now I'm going to chain 3. I'm going to go into the top of that chain 3 that was at the beginning of our row. That's our chain 6, where the first 3 chains counted as a double crochet. Go into the top of that one with a single crochet. Okay, I'm going to move my stitch marker to that single crochet. Then I'm going to chain 3, and I'm going to put a single crochet in that first chain space, chain 3, and put a single crochet in our next chain space, and so on all the way around this second row. Okay, chain 3, single crochet in the next chain space. Keep repeating that, and I'll see you at the end of this round. I'm nearing the end of the second row, working in the round. I've put a single crochet in the chain space, and I've chained 3, and then very last chain space here, I will make a single crochet in there. Then I'll chain 3. Then I'll go into our single crochet with a double crochet. Okay, and then chain 3. And then go into our next chain space with a double crochet. And chain 3, go in our next chain space with a double crochet. And repeat that all the way around. I'm going to move my stitch marker though, because I want to mark that double crochet, because we're going to be going into the top of it when we come back around. Now I'm at the end of the third row of our trim. Put a double crochet in the last chain space. I'm going to chain 3. And then I'm going to put a single crochet in where we put our stitch marker on the top of that double crochet. Just put a single crochet in there. Mark that single crochet. Chain 3. And go into your next chain space with a single crochet. So we're just alternating between the double crochet rows and the single crochet rows. Okay, so just keep doing that. Chain 3, single crochet in the next chain space, chain 3, single crochet, and so on until you have, let's see, I'll come back and now tell you how many rows I made. I've added 12 rows to the big opening, which adds length and helps close in the front a little bit. And this measures 6 inches. I ended on the row that has the chains and single crochets. Now we're going to go around this whole opening with a bit of a border. And I'll still be using my 7mm hook. I finished the last row by slip stitching into the next stitch. I'm going to chain 1, and I'm going to make a single crochet. I'm going to mark the single crochet. Then I'm going to make single crochets all the way around. Actually, I'm going to go do 2 rows if you want to skip ahead. So into that next chain 3 space, I'm going to put 2 single crochets. And then a single crochet in the next stitch. And then in our chain 3 space, 2 single crochets. This is what we're going to repeat all the way around. Okay, so that's a single crochet in the next stitch and 2 single crochets in our chain 3 spaces. Okay, keep working that around and I'll meet you at the end of this row. All right, I'm at the end of that first single crochet row. I've put the last 2 single crochets in the chain 3. And then I'm going to slip stitch into the first single crochet we made in this row and chain 1. Remove that stitch marker. And I'm going to go into every single crochet with a single crochet all the way around this row. I'm going to mark that first one. It's just easier to spot it when we come back around. Okay, so just make a single crochet in every single crochet. And I'll see you at the end of this row. I'm at the end of the second row of single crochets. I'm going to slip stitch into that first one I made. And I actually want to, and chain 1, and I actually want to change to a purple color. So I'm going to do that now. I'm just going to pull it through there. I'm going to tie the ends together and then sew them in later on. Chain 1, and then I'm going to go back into that single crochet with a double crochet. Okay, then I'm going to mark that first double crochet. And we're just going to be doing double crochets in every stitch all the way around. All right, go into your next stitch, do a double crochet. And in your next stitch, double crochet, and do that all the way around, and I will see you at the end of this row. Now I'm at the end of the double crochet row. I put my last double crochet in, and now I'm going to slip stitch into the first double crochet. And then we have one more row, and then we'll be done the border around the front. Okay, so in this last row, we're going to chain 1, and then we're just going to put a single crochet in every stitch all the way around this row. I am going to mark it because we want to slip stitch into it when we get to it. So we'll just spot it easier, that's all. Okay. So single crochet in every stitch all the way around, and I'll see you at the end of this row. I'm at the end of the single crochet row, and I'm just going to slip stitch into that first single crochet we made. And then we are done our border. The next step is the trim around the sleeves. I'm going to be doing some decreases. I'm using my 6mm hook. Our first row will be in multiples of 3. Be sure to keep track of how many stitches you put around this sleeve because you'll need that number for the next sleeve. So I'm going to put a slip knot on my hook. I'm going to start at the seam. Now you may notice that your stitches are on their side. I'm going to go into the seam here and just hook my yarn on here with a slip stitch. Then I'm going to go back in and make a single crochet. And I'm going to mark it to keep track. Okay, then I'm going to put 2 single crochets around our chain 3. Here's our next stitch. I'm going to put a single crochet into it. Then I'm going to go over to the chain 3 space and put 2 single crochets in there. That's what we're going to be repeating around this row. The next stitch is right here, and we'll put a single crochet in there. and 2 single crochets around our chain. Okay, I'll show you that again. Our next stitch is right here, and we'll just put a single crochet in there. Go over to the chain 3, put 2 single crochets around the chain 3. Okay, I'll see you at the end of the row. I'm at the end of the row, and I just have this space here to put 2 single crochets into. I've counted them, and this makes 54 in my case. Okay, then we're going to slip stitch into that first single crochet. Now we're going to chain 1, and then we're going to make 4 single crochets in a row, 1 in each of the 4 stitches. That's 1. I want to also mark this. Okay, so that was 1. 1 in the next stitch, 1 in the next, and 1 in that 4th one. Now every 5th and 6th stitch, I've done a single crochet decrease. So I'll go into the 5th stitch, pull my yarn through, go in the 6th stitch, pull my yarn through, yarn over, and pull through all 3 on my hook. So that's 2 single crochets together. So that's what I'm going to do on every 5th and 6th stitch. So in the next 4, put 1 single crochet into each. And then the 5th and 6th, I'll do 2 single crochets together. Okay, so continue that around this round. I'll see you at the end of the round. Okay, I'm at the end of the decrease row. Now, if you have like, say, 2 or 3 stitches left, just put 1 single crochet in each one. Okay, now I'm gonna slip stitch into the first single crochet. And I'm actually going to change my yarn color here because I want to go into the purple like I did on the other sleeve. Okay, and I'll chain 1, and then I'm going to go back in that stitch with a double crochet. And we're going to do the same thing here with the decreases. We're going to make a double crochet into each of the first 4, and then we're going to make a 2 double crochet together across stitch number 5 and 6. Okay, oh, I want to mark that double crochet. Okay, so it was 1 double crochet. Go in the next one, make a double crochet. Go in the 3rd one, make a double crochet. Go in the 4th one, make a double crochet. And then we'll make 2 double crochets together across the 5th and 6th stitch. So go in that stitch, grab your yarn, pull it through, wrap your yarn, pull it through 2 loops, and you have 2 on your hook. Wrap your yarn, go in the next stitch, grab your yarn, pull it through, wrap your yarn, pull through 2, and then you have 3 on your hook, and pull through all 3. Okay, so we'll put 1 double crochet into each of the next 4 stitches. Then we'll put 2 double crochets together over the next 2 stitches, the 5th and 6th. Yarn over, pull through 2, go into your next stitch, grab your yarn, pull through 2, and then wrap your yarn, pull through all 3 on your hook, and then make 1 double crochet in each of the next 4, and then do your 2 double crochet together in the 5th and 6th. And that's what we're doing all the way around this round. Together over the next 2 stitches. All right, see you at the end of this round. I finished my double crochet row, so I'm going to just slip stitch into the first double crochet we made. And the next row will be single crochets with decreases. So we'll do that, chain 1. Make 1 single crochet into each of the first 4 stitches. Oops, I forgot to mark the first stitch. I went back and I marked it. And then do 2 single crochets together in the next 2 stitches. Okay, 1 single crochet, 1 single crochet, 1 single crochet, 1 single crochet, and then 2 single crochets together. And do that all the way around. I'll be right back. Now I'm at the end of the last row of the trim of our sleeve. Slip stitch, chain 1, cut my yarn. And all we need to do now is sew in the ends. So thank you so much for joining me, and I hope you enjoyed this tutorial. Please let me know in the comment section if you plan on making it. And if you do, I would love to see pictures in my Facebook group, which is linked below. And please share to your social media. It really helps us YouTubers out. And even when you click like on the video, that puts it out to more people, for more people to see it. And then, you know, they may be interested and may want to make themselves a nice summer shrug to throw over top of a dress or a tank top. All right, I thank you, everyone. Don't forget to subscribe. I will see you all again very soon, or as soon as I can. Thank you so much. I appreciate all of you. Bye for now.